A very good morning I bid to Sally and to my fellow friends. Today, my group members and I are going to present our task 3, which is visual model presentation. My group members are Nurul Hamizah binti Muhammad Asri, Afifah Husnadia binti Abdul Khalil, and me, Nur Husna Syada binti Muhammad Saidi. We're going to proceed to our presentation. The Azure model is a 6-step instructional systems design or ISD intended to help teachers utilize technology and media in the classroom. Azure model is a way to ensure that the learning environment is appropriate for students. Azure model can also be used in lesson plans to improve the teacher's teaching and the students' learning while using technology. So what does the Azure stand for? Azure is an acronym for these 6 important elements, which are A. Analyze learners as state objective, another S for select instructional methods, media and materials, U for utilize media and materials, R require learning participation, and the last one E evaluate and revise. Next, analyze learners. So we need to analyze the learners before we start teaching, right? The learners that we have identified for our teaching and learning session are Year 6 primary school children. The pupils are going to learn about the topic nouns and 2 types of noun, which are proper nouns and common nouns. So here we already analyzed the learners, which is Year 6 students, and the topic that they are going to learn, which is nouns. For the next step, we need to state the objectives. By the end of the lesson, the pupils will be able to first identify the different types of nouns, list out the nouns based on the examples given, and the last one is categorize the nouns based on the types. So, for here, the objective, the first one is we can see through when the teacher teach or when the teacher already do the teaching and are going to give assessment tasks. The second one also for assessment tasks. The last one is when the teacher evaluate the students. Besides, we're going to select instructional methods, media, and materials that we are going to use in our teaching and learning session. So the instructional media that we have chosen is Google Classroom. So we know that Google Classroom is widely used now because of the pandemic COVID-19. Google Classroom is a platform which are free and internet-based collaboration platform developed by Google as a part of G-Cert for Education. It was first launched in 2014 as exclusive platform for school system. However, in 2017, Google removed the G-Cert for Education requirement and expanded the ability to host or join a class to any basic Google account holder. Basically here, in 2014, Google only opened their platform for those who have G-Cert for Education. However, in 2014, they terminate all of that and open it to the public. Maybe it is one of their marketing strategy, and then it was made to public to be used by all educators and students. Google Classroom enables teachers to create an online classroom area in which they can manage all the documents that their student needs. Why did it say so? Because Google Classroom provide the platform to teach and the platform to do the assessment tasks and also the platform to interact with the students. Documents are stored on Google Drive and can be edited in Drive apps such as Google Documents, Sheets, and others. And it's not only for Google Apps application, but we can also use like Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint. The next one is Google provides a teacher and student-friendly way of managing classroom documents. Okay, here we know that the teacher and the student that use Google Classroom can interact with each other by comment, or they can also use Google Meet to like have a more two-way interaction with the student in a friendly way. The last one is things that can be done by using Google Classroom. The first one is make assignments. The second one is make announcements. The third one is store classroom materials. And the fourth one is allow students to interact, like I said before. I think that's all from me. I'm going to pass this presentation to the next members. Thank you.
Good morning, I bid to Mr. Lee and my fellow friends. I am Afifah Husna binti Abdul Khalil from U6 and I will continue the presentation. In my part, I will explain about utilize media and materials. Okay. So the first step is to create a classroom in the Google Classroom which can be easily done using Safari or Chrome. You just simply type Google Classroom in the search bar and it will bring you to the website. Next, after creating the Google Classroom, we will invite the pupils to join the class using the class code given. We also will share the invite link which directly brings the pupils to the Google Classroom when they click the link. So we will share the invite link in the WhatsApp group chat so that they can easily find the Google Classroom. Next, after creating the classroom, we will preview the materials that we are going to use to teach the pupils. Then we make sure that the materials are suitable with the level of the pupils and it meets the learning objectives of the lesson. Next, the instructional materials that are going to be used in the teaching and learning process are a YouTube video, a PowerPoint presentation, and an animated picture about proper nouns and common nouns. And these are the instructional materials that are going to be used for the teaching and learning session: the PowerPoint, a video from YouTube, and an animated picture of proper nouns and common noun. Next, after making sure that the materials which are going to be used are suitable for the pupils, we prepare the materials and post them in the Google Classroom. All the materials are gathered under one topic, which is topic 1, noun, which is in the material section. So the pupils can easily find the materials in the classwork section. Okay. Next, we also give out an assessment task about the topic and post the task under the assignment section. The pupils need to submit the task before the due date assigned, or else they will be labeled missing or submitted late. It will reduce the point. Next, the assessment task that will be done by the students after the teaching and learning session are as shown in the PowerPoint. The worksheet is find the nouns and yeah. Okay. Last but not the least, when the pupils have turned in their assignment, the teacher can check and grade the pupils' work in the student work section. So it is easier for the teacher to monitor who submit their assignment or who didn't. And it is also easier for the teacher to grade the pupils' work. Just simply kick in the grade, the marks in the Google Classroom, and they will sort it out for you. And I think that's all from me. Hamizah will continue the next slide. Thank you.
A very good morning. I bid to Mr. Lee and all my fellow friends. I am Nurul Hamizah binti Muhammad Asri, and I'm going to proceed with the presentation of the Azure model. So for my part, I'm going to explain on the required learner participation and also the evaluation of the Azure model. So requiring learners to participate is an essential part of any lesson. It means like we have to encourage the learners to participate in the lesson so that if they have any question they can ask, and they want to discuss something they can ask in the uh, Google Classroom section that we have create for the learners. So this part requires the student to be actively involved in the lesson that will help them to retain what they are learning. So it helps them to understand the lesson better. When they ask question, the teacher answer it to make it better understanding for them. Some ways to do this are questioning, having discussions, or creating fun hands-on activities. So, for example, in our Google Classroom platform, under the notes that the teacher has assigned, before this that my group mate Afifah has discussed on the underutilized Azure model, we have the materials. So under the materials section, we have the comment section where the students can post questions regarding the topic that they do not understand. Instead, if they have any inquiry or they want to know more about the topic, they can post some questions in the comment section, and the teacher also can uh, reply to the question, can answer the question straight away. And the most interesting is the teacher can tag the, like, specifically answer the question, the people's question. So for example, in the picture we can see that the people's named Aunizah asked something. So I am as the teacher, which is with the username Izzah Asri, I tagged the username of Aunizah to answer her particular question. So the student and teacher can have this discussion in the comment section. And we also put a YouTube video to help the students learn in a fun way. So they will not feel bored throughout the lesson. It's like they will not just read the slides or look at the picture. They will have to, they can watch a video, YouTube videos about the topic. And the last point in the Azure model, which is evaluate and revise. So for this part, we will ask the students to give feedbacks on the learning platform that we use, which is the Google Classroom. So they do find this platform convenient, or are they confused using it? Means like, are the materials clear? Can they access the materials in easy way, something like that. And we also will meticulously monitor if the students have achieved the learning outcomes while learning through this platform. And last but not least, we will improvise our Google Classroom if the learning outcomes are failed to be achieved by the students, and we teach all topics in a better way, in a better outcome. So eventually, the evaluation of our Google Classroom, we can see when the students are using the Google Classroom. If they have any problems, they will come straight away to us and ask. And for example, they cannot find the materials. Teacher, why we cannot find the materials? So from there, we know that the Google Classroom is not effectively used for the students. And maybe the students have internet problem. So we need to figure out how to do to make it easier for the pupils to learn the lesson to the Google Classroom. So in this evaluation, we will improvise how the platform to make it easier and better for the students to learn the lesson and the topic. So I think that's all from our group. Uh, Thank you.